Are you going places or left behind without a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Mary Travelbest will bring you the best tips and her travel mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's Independent Travel Guide, a special episode for women like you who need a little extra support traveling the world, one woman at a time. In this episode, the FAQ is Favorite Women's Sports Events, and the special topic is Sports Travel. My lesson learned is forgetting my suitcase, and the travel tip is to give yourself the gift of travel. FAQ, what are my favorite women's sporting travel events? My favorite women's sporting travel events are high school women's sports. I enjoy watching the spirit of young women who are in adult-sized bodies with strength that they never knew they had. They achieve on the field in competition with peers and against rivals from other locations. And some of my favorite travel days have been spent in the bleachers watching a women's softball game or water polo team compete for the sake of doing their best and leaving it all on the field or pool in competition. Now for today's special episode on sports travel. My favorite baseball stadiums include most of the big league, National and American League baseball parks. Growing up in New York, I went to Shea Stadium to see the Mets and Yankee Stadium, both in New York City. And when I moved to Chicago, the Cubs and the White Sox became the home teams. Over the decades of travel, I've been to nearly every major league baseball stadium in the U.S. That's sports travel. Often, I went by myself just for the fun of the game. Being solo, you can get some great seats, even in a nearly sold-out opening day game. These games create a dramatic rivalry between teams and a memorable experience past just seeing the field and the players compete for the win. The sounds, the smells, the emotion, along with the action, create an appeal for me as the fan who is traveling. Women's sports are becoming more of a spectator event every year. Women's NBA teams and women's college basketball are showing up on TV ratings with increasing frequency. Women's collegiate softball and soccer keep my attention every year. Sports are a unifying force for a global traveler. Olympics are the ultimate travel sports events, especially women's soccer and track and field events. Other sports with world championships include football with the World Cup every 4 years. I attended the '84 Olympics in Los Angeles. Being solo helped me to buy someone's extra track and field finals ticket that day at a discount. I hope that you can enjoy the Olympic experience in 2028 when the event returns to California. See show notes for details. Consider going to the NFL trademarked Super Bowl and the World Series, which is really teams from the US and Canada, the NCAA, WNBA, and NBA championships, the NHL, and more travel for you ahead. Travel to these destinations can become a lifelong memory for an independent traveler. Now for today's lesson learned. Forgetting my suitcase on a car trip. On a 3-day car trip with my 1-year-old daughter and husband, we remembered the diaper bag, but forgot the suitcase to be brought to the car. We had enough diapers and made sure we washed our own clothes daily on the trip. Then we put them back on. We were able to manage these 3 days barely, but when we returned home, the suitcase was right where we left it, inside the front room. Don't forget your suitcase. Now for some travel advice. Give yourself the gift of travel. Make plans to travel now by yourself to somewhere you've always wanted to go. This is the day. Do it now. Don't wait until tomorrow, and you can do this. I want to bring meaning to your travel, so send me your travel tip or question to my Facebook page, group, Instagram, Twitter, or blog, and maybe you'll see your tips in my next travel book on independent destinations. What's on your travel bucket list?
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.